On November 7, 2025, somewhere in the dark sky between Moscow and Beijing, two superpowers sealed a deal worth $287 million. It wasn't a trade agreement. It was a death pact, an operation hidden under the name Project Thundep. What neither side knew was that their darkest secret was being watched, recorded, and leaked by an AI system deep inside Kiev. That single leak exposed something terrifying: nuclear microchips, mobile uranium reactors, and hypersonic missile cores, parts that, when assembled, could erase an entire NATO city in 6.4 seconds. But what happened next was even more unbelievable. At 10:45 p.m. Beijing time, a secure military line opened between China's Ministry of Defense and senior Russian generals. The conversation lasted just 17 minutes. But in that short time, the two nations agreed to something the world wasn't supposed to hear: a joint weapon project designed to end deterrence forever. China would supply 34,000 micronuclear chips, 280 quantum sensors, 8 uranium reactors, 5 propulsion cores for hypersonic launch platforms. The name: Thundep, short for Thunderstep. Its purpose: to create the fastest first-strike weapon ever built. Hours later, 5 massive Xian Y-20 aircraft lifted off from a hidden base in China. Each carried 66 tons of cargo, a total of 330 tons of classified components. Their destination: Chikolovski Air Base northeast of Moscow. A base so secret, it's wrapped in 3 concentric S-400 defense rings and off-limits to all civilian satellites. On board were 60 military technicians, each sworn to silence. Their mission: deliver the impossible. What they didn't know was that their flight paths had already been compromised. At 11:02 p.m., Kiev's cyber division intercepted the encrypted call. A top-secret AI monitoring system captured the audio file in real time, a single WAV file that instantly became Ukraine's most classified possession. When analysts decrypted the signal, silence filled the room. They weren't just eavesdropping. They had stumbled upon the blueprint for a weapon that could change the balance of power forever. President Volodymyr Zelensky was briefed within minutes. His order was simple: intercept, neutralize, leave no trace. Ukraine called it Operation Iron Mist. By 10:32 a.m. the next morning, all 5 Y-20s were descending into Chikolovsky. Their landing was smooth, routine. Russian ground crews moved quickly to unload crates labeled industrial turbines. But 400 miles away, 12 MiG-29 fighter jets were already airborne, cutting through the clouds at Mach 1.6, while 28 FPV attack drones hugged the treetops, flying so low they disappeared beneath radar. Their orders: blind the Russian defense grid. Inside the Russian radar towers, everything looked normal. No warnings, no threats, until the sky started to scream. At 10:43 a.m., alarms went off. The drones had breached the radar horizon, flying barely 150 feet above ground, weaving between forests and power lines like a swarm of shadows. Russian operators saw hundreds of tiny dots rushing in. They panicked. Within seconds, 15 surface-to-air missiles launched into the sky, one after another. Explosions, fireballs, 20 drones were down, but 8 made it through. They didn't hit targets. They didn't have to. They jammed, confused, and overloaded the S-400 systems. For 32 seconds, Russia was blind.
While chaos erupted below, 12 MiG-29s began their deadly dive. From 36,000 feet, they unleashed 48 R-77M missiles, each guided by NATO-encrypted satellite data. The first missile hit Y-20 Bravo, a direct strike. The aircraft vanished in a ball of fire. Seconds later, Y-20 Delta exploded mid-air, lighting up the Moscow skyline. Runways shattered, hangars collapsed, and 330 tons of classified cargo turned into molten debris.
5 PLA officers were killed instantly. By 10:49 a.m., the base that had cost billions to build was reduced to smoke and ash. Ukraine's jets vanished back into friendly skies. Not a single one lost. Satellite images released hours later told the story better than words. 5 destroyed aircraft, 4 ruined radar towers, a crater 1.2 kilometers wide. The fire burned so hot it could be seen from Red Square. Russia and China said nothing. No press conferences, no denials, only silence. Behind closed doors, both governments were in panic. Beijing quietly terminated Project Thundep, recalling its officers from Russia. Moscow suspended all joint research indefinitely. The secret alliance shattered in one night. For Ukraine, this wasn't just a victory. It was a statement. A nation once seen as small had outsmarted 2 global giants. In less than 7 minutes, it had rewritten the rules of modern warfare. This wasn't just about missiles or microchips. It was about information, the real weapon of the 21st century. And as dawn broke over Eastern Europe, the message was clear. You can have power, wealth, and weapons. But if we see you first, you'll never pull the trigger. If you found this analysis eye-opening, hit that like button. Share this video with someone who follows global conflicts. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next war won't be fought on the ground. It'll be fought in silence and in code.